everybody, it is Qcknd and welcome back to another episode of 5 Fact Friday. So last week there was no 5 Fact Friday, and that is because I was filming the Haku girl tutorial. If you haven't checked that out, you totally can. It's a little different, a little exercise of the channel. But I do like creating different content for the channel, even if it isn't always like super talk related. It's always just a little fun to get out there and try something a little different. And I think you guys do a really great job of encouraging me. It has been super cool. I love the Haku girl inspired art that has been circulating around. I think it's super cool, and I love when creators can all come together and get inspired by different things. I think a lot of us find inspiration from Studio Ghibli, and I thought it was really cool to just create a like real life and tangible inspired thing from that. And yes, I'm not good at makeup. I'm really not. I'm not really good at videography. All the ingredients, I'm like wrapped in a blanket, all the ingredients of making that video work are definitely absent from my repertoire, but I tried, and I think that that's cool. I'm a huge fan of people trying and stepping out of their comfort zone and maybe standing up to criticism. My mentor at work, Josie, she always has like really good life advice for me based on this stuff, because I don't have any experience. I really don't have like YouTube friends to ask like, hey, what do I do? What did you do? What's it like? So Josie was in the AKAs, and I always like ask her little questions, and she was like, yeah, people would always have something bad to say about us, but they were people who had no idea what it was like. Not to say I'll only take critique from other YouTubers, but it's cool because there are definitely days where I'm like, why did I do that? I suck, and I shouldn't have done that, and I put it on the internet, so now it's never gonna leave me. But you guys are definitely there, and you're a great support system. But with all that, you're definitely allowed to not like some of my videos. You're allowed to see one of my pictures and not hit like if you don't like it. That's definitely all up to you. I say that I value your support, but I also don't require it of you. You don't have to like all my stuff. But if you do, I'm here for you. And if you want to see something, I'm also listening. Really quickly, I just wanted to talk about the Qcknd pins. I think a lot of people are starting to get them. I know there was a lot of delays. Hurricane Matthew was in the States, so I know that caused a lot of delays to begin with, and that is when the pins started shipping. So a lot of them didn't even start to move until like 2 weeks ago. So that kind of puts most people on average with a average like 5 to 18 days shipping. I shipped everything first class, so it is putzing along, getting out there. Thanks again for your patience. I have put pins back on pre-order. It's only a select number that I typed in there, so pins are on pre-order, and then the pre-order pins have been sent out for manufacturing. I'll leave that link down below if you guys have not had the chance to order pins through pre-order, if this is the first time you're hearing about them. I do a lot of this information via Twitter and Instagram, so if you want, feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. My handle on both is QuietCoolKid, one word. So you can always check that stuff out for updates if you would like. Those pins will be coming out soon, and then I have another pin, a different design that is going to be coming out, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in this episode. But check the description box for links and details on how to order the pre-order pin. And my big cartel is Quiet Cool Shop, if you haven't checked it out yet. You can bookmark that on your browser if you want. Later this year, I will be coming out with other pins and my zine. little channel homework for you right there. I got one of these questions on one of my videos earlier this week, my fall lipstick video. If you haven't seen that yet, it's worth checking out if you're into that. I'd love to hear how you feel about different brands and see more sponsored videos on your channel. And I thought that this was pretty interesting, so I thought I would address it. And it's definitely, you know, something that happens on YouTube. You know, some of your favorite YouTubers may accept sponsorships. And I think sponsorships, like the phrasing of the question, can be a really great way to get your favorite influencers advice on things that they didn't go to the store and buy, but things that they were physically sent. Because I feel like there's always a little bit of bias if you went out and paid for something. Maybe you're like, well, I have to like it, I paid for it, and I'm not going back to the store anytime soon. I think that bias may exist out there, so sometimes we do feel like the honest opinion of somebody is more prevalent when they're given something for free. I know I kind of feel that way. You might not. I might have just made all that up. So on my channel, you know, I have done a couple sponsored videos, some of them more obvious than others. Some of them people have commented and they were like, go ahead, get that sponsorship, girl. But my channel, I think because it is a lifestyle channel, does not attract a ton of sponsorships. Or the sponsorships I do get sent, I'm not really interested in, so I don't take them. So, I mean, I always have that, like, little openness to taking sponsorships, but it is hard because it's not like I'm gonna get a tattoo sponsorship. And you guys know that my channel, like, became very tattoo talk focused, other than, like, lifestyle. But this question came in good timing. I do have a sponsored video coming up just for, like, clothing. I think I do maybe attract clothing sponsorships, and if I did more lookbooks, maybe more sponsorships might come. I think with the growth of my channel, it's a slow moving process, but you know, if sponsorships do come my way, I really consider them before I take them, and I'll probably, you know, keep a little scrutiny involved when I do get sent sponsorships. The thing I probably get the most sponsorships for right now are probably extensions, and I think it's because maybe I'm a hairstylist or because my hair does change pretty frequently, but I do have shorter hair and my hair kind of changes a lot. Even though the last couple days it has been like silver, every time I wash it it's different, so I'm like, if I get extensions, they're gonna work once. But you know, I do get sent things for free sometimes, and you generally do see me using them. But I'm not a huge channel, I think, on like people's radar for that stuff. Like, I'm never sent free makeup, and I think it's because I don't do a lot of beauty videos. You kind of have to put it out there in order to receive. But yeah, I thought that was a great question. I'm not opposed, and I would love to do more reviews and stuff for you. You guys said on Twitter you would love to see a monthly favorite series on my channel, so that will be coming out this month, and hopefully every month from then on. So I thought that would be pretty cool to do, and you know, I'm open to sponsorships. I'm glad you guys might be interested in it too. Cause I think that it's kind of like a dirty word on YouTube, but it doesn't have to be, I guess, you know. I do get a lot of questions about having another Qcknd Meetup. Sometimes people are like, are you gonna have another meetup? I missed the last meetup. Are you gonna come to my country, my state? And as of right now, there is not really one in the works, just because November is right around the corner, and I think the easiest way to have a very like seamless meetup is to have it outside. And I don't think nicer days are in our future. I mean, I did go to the Mykie meetup in December, and it happened to be a really nice day. My jacket was unzipped, and it was actually like really beautiful. It was really great timing. It was like around the holidays, so a lot more people were here. It was really great timing. Great to meet you, Mykie. I love your Halloween videos. So all of that stuff is always in my mind. I am constantly trying to accommodate, I swear. And I think, you know, the only thing in the works is I'm going to have the zine coming up and the limited edition pins that you guys haven't seen yet, and then the other pins. I was thinking of maybe hosting a pop-up shop. While I was packing some of the orders for the Qcknd pins, I noticed a couple of them were from Philadelphia, and in my mind I was like, why don't I just walk this to their house? And then I was like, so if I could like take that out of the equation, maybe save some people a couple bucks on shipping, have a pop-up shop, maybe just like for an hour, bring like a couple pins, a couple zines, bring John, and maybe just have like a little pop-up thing so you can buy the pins if you don't want to pay for shipping because you felt like you lived in Philadelphia. Like, why would you? That's something that would cross my mind. So in the next couple months, maybe a couple weeks, maybe sometime in November, you can follow my social media and there might be information on a pop-up shop, but it's definitely not going to be as intimate as the first Qcknd Meetup where we hung out for like 6 hours and in a circle and all talked and shared. It would probably just be a way to help people who wanted to support the channel or wanted to get the pins, but you know, they're in college or the shipping price is a little daunting. There have been plenty of times where I have a full cart full of items and then when I get to the checkout screen and the shipping's $7, I'm like, do I need all this stuff? I feel you. So there might be information about that. I'll definitely put like Qcknd pop-up shop next week from 7 to 9 or something like that. So if you're a part of the original Qcknd Meetup crew, definitely come to that. You're totally welcome. And, you know, if you live in Philadelphia, you work all the time, you don't have time to play around at the Qcknd Meetup, like, I get it. I'm hoping to have that little pop-up shop soon. Follow me on Twitter or whatever if you want to stay tuned with all that. And that's all I have in the works so far until it gets nicer out again. So I thought that this next question was pretty cool, pretty interesting perspective, and definitely something I wanted to offer conversation and clarification about because this is a conversational channel. This is a safe space for everybody to talk and become friends and follow each other. It's definitely very heartwarming for me when I see you guys following each other on social media and supporting each other. I know someone from the Qcknd Meetup posted a makeup look and then other people were like, I love it. And I was like, this is so cool that we can all come together. Like, why not? Blah, blah, blah. So, that being said, I love that this is a conversation and we don't all have to agree. Like I said, you don't have to agree with Qcknd all the time. I don't. I had Hannah on the channel on Tuesday. If you don't know Han Overboard from Instagram, she is definitely out there for years and years. A lot of people were like, I've been following her for years. I met her through Instagram. She has a YouTube channel and I think our interests just collide. And I wanted to have her on the channel. She said she tried coming to the Qcknd Meetup last year, and for us to get together and make content together just sounded really cool. At work yesterday, we were talking about like the most famous people who have ever liked or like commented on one of our pictures. And one of the stylists at my work, Kelsey, she was like, Manny MUA liked and commented on one of my Twitter posts once. And I remember being like, that's fucking crazy, show it to me. And then when it was my turn to share, I was like, probably Han Overboard. So Hannah was on the channel and I thought it was really interesting to have Hannah on there because her and I are both tattoo collectors, but we've both taken different approaches on how we do collect tattoos. And, you know, I collect traditional tattoos, but it doesn't mean I don't get along with people who collect different types of tattoos. Like, one of the friends I've really become really close to this year, Danielle, you've seen her on the Pokemon Go video, she has all neo-traditional tattoos and I'm just blown away by them. They're fucking amazing. I love seeing them. but it's a very different strategy and approach to collecting tattoos versus mine. And I'm trying to get Danielle on the channel, don't worry. So I think it was really great to have Hannah on here, and although you heard our dialogue being very agreeable, I think that caused a little bit of confusion. People were like, how are you agreeing if you don't even have tattoos like that? And it's funny, you know, I kind of compare it to my ex-boyfriend. We started getting tattoos together when we were younger, and I saw him recently, and his tattoos are so different than mine. And we both kind of started with the same strategy. Like, we both became like of tattoo age and availability around the same time. We met with only like 2 or 3 tattoos and broke up having like 20 tattoos. And even now his journey has gone so different than mine. And there's no saying that like our foundations didn't start together, and we both don't have like semi-traditional tattoos. And as a collector, you just kind of come up with things and you take your own path, and I think it's really cool to have people on the channel who like do that, because I think you guys like don't all follow my path, and I think that that's really cool and refreshing. It's a totally refreshing perspective. Hannah is someone who likes to educate and share with strangers and people who approach her about her tattoos, and her and I were both talking about like killing people with kindness, about people who approach us and want to know and want to understand about body modifications. But I'm still someone who has a lot of hesitance about talking to strangers and being approached by people who want to, I guess, ask me questions. And I feel like if someone doesn't do it the right way, then I can be scared off like an animal or something. So her and I both do have different approaches, and because I do have more of a sensitivity to like being out in the public eye, I think getting tattoos that are more indescript kind of fit my personality and my interests. And it's not always that black and white, it's sometimes really subtle and something I don't even detect about myself. So yeah, I think it's really cool that we could share different perspectives for you guys. I mean, Tattoo Talk Tuesday, it's kind of silly to be like, this is my talk show, and today our guest on our talk show, sponsored by Taco Bell, Liv Moss. Obviously it would never be like that, but you know, I'm learning and I'm going with the flow, and I really do want my channel to be an open index for people who are heavily tattooed or don't have a single tattoo to be able to come here and find information about stuff that might relate to them or things they have interests in. Like maybe the girl you have a crush on has Fandom tattoos and you just kind of want to understand her a little better. Boom, sit down for a half hour and watch Hannah and I chat it up. Or not, it's up to you. Check out that video if you haven't seen it though. It was a pleasure. Hannah drove all the way to Philadelphia, which is so amazing, but you know, her and I just want to help out the cause. I got this question and I did want to address it really quickly, and it said that a lot of your content seems really scripted lately. Whatever happened to this being more realistic? And I just want to touch on that real quick. And I think it's just because a lot of my videos the last month have had a lot more structure, just because they are Halloween videos. Or did I post any lookbooks lately? A lot of those videos do require a lot of planning, and because YouTube isn't my full-time job, sometimes there isn't time for me to just sit down and film, complete, sit down, edit, post. Sometimes I have to film bits and pieces over the course of like a month, and with that, those videos do require like a lot of structure, and I'm just learning like still, and I really don't know what's right. There's no YouTube handbook. There might be. What's PewDiePie's book called? Even now, like, I'm kind of reading off this notebook, so I make sure that I answer everyone's questions and not just talk about whatever the fuck I want for a half hour, because sometimes that happens. So yeah, there has been a little more structure to my videos. Like the Haku video, production for that started back in August when I had the wig ordered, when I had the contacts ordered, when we went to look for the dress. I mean, I only have like off on Sunday, and even sometimes on Sunday I tend to sit down at the computer and then I end up editing. So a lot of those things do require a lot more structure, and I'm not saying they're scripted, but they are a lot more regimented than a lot of my other content. And if you watch the video with Hannah and I, like, we met up, and before we even started filming, we went to the coffee shop and like just kind of chatted for like 2 hours. It was our first time meeting each other in person, and her and I really got along. It's not really often in my everyday life I get to hang out with like a tattooed chick and just like vibe. So there was a lot of stuff we ended up having in common. People we've both been tattooed by, stuff like that. So there had to be a little more structure in that video because it was our first time meeting. So I couldn't have been like, hey, remember that one time we were doing this? So us getting to know each other had to be this and this. And then I did write down some questions because I asked you guys about some questions. So I did want to get everybody's questions involved because Tattoo Talk Tuesday is a more user interactive series. So I always want to get everybody involved. I have seen critiques that are like, hey, you've never answered my question. So that is a little more helpful for me. If it does come off as scripted, all I can do is apologize. I mean, even the notes I took for this are like 2 words. And then from there, I kind of just like freestyle it. I just have to, I guess with that, like, I don't ever want to come off as super scripted, but I do tend to ramble and my videos do tend to go on the long side. And I know there is a lot of support for that, but then there also are people who are like, I watch your YouTube channel when I'm getting ready in the morning. And if you're like me, you have like 15 minutes to get ready, so you can't watch the half-hour Tattoo Talk Tuesday. So, you know, not so much scripted, but you can find my like more real unscripted content generally on Tuesdays and on Fridays, like right now. But I do like a little bit take notes sometimes, unless I kind of just like sit down and chat with you guys. But I guess everything I do is authentic though. I have lived 1,000 lives, so all I have is to share that with you guys. And I'm so incredibly grateful for everybody who submits questions and who comments and who thumbs up my videos and who is here every single week. I'm here for you guys. And I don't think I'll ever offer like really scripted content, but sometimes, yeah, stuff is a little more structured. The Stranger Things lookbook took like a month of preparation, and I'm not a really organized person, so for someone who is super unorganized to take like a couple notes, like that's as far as I'll go. But this is 5 Fact Friday. Thank you guys so much, so much for all of the support. Check out those videos if you haven't seen them. Haku Dragon Girl and Tattoo Talk Tuesday, all about fandom tattoos, as answered by 2 collectors with fandom tattoos. I love you guys. Check out the Quick and Pin pre-order listing. Those pins will start to ship out towards the end of November. And the limited edition pins, you can see those when they come out on my Instagram or my Twitter. Both of those are Qcknd. I love you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.